Hello friends, my name is Bharat Bhushan. Today in this video I am going to brief you about chain of survival. Now before we go to chain of survival, uh, we quickly cover up BLS. Now BLS it's basic life support. In brief we can say it's a level of care which is given to the patients in any life-threatening illness or injuries means trauma or medical patients we can provide BLS. When we talk about BLS or chain of survival, we should be very much clear with two terms, that is heart attack and cardiac arrest. Now when we say heart attack, it is an ongoing process where the patient will be conscious and he'll be experiencing the signs and symptoms like chest pain, sweating, and other symptoms. So it's an ongoing process where the heart is functioning but not functioning effectively. Now, when we say cardiac arrest, the patient will be unresponsive and the cardiac output will be zero. Now, chain of survival, it's a series of actions that, when come together, it reduces the mortality associated with cardiac arrest. Means whenever we have a cardiac arrest patient, so chain of survival can come in place. Now there are two different chain of survivals which we follow. One is OHCA, that is known as out hospital cardiac arrest chain of survival, and IHCA, that means in hospital cardiac arrest chain of survival. Because it's not always that we have a cardiac arrest patient out of hospital or inside hospital. It can be anywhere. Now based on the situation, there are two different chain of survivals which were given. Now, first let's talk about out hospital chain of cardiac arrest chain of survival. Now, in out of hospital scenarios, the first thing is to identify, means to recognize that the patient is in cardiac arrest, and then activate the EMS system, that is emergency response system or emergency medical services. So how to recognize, means it is important to recognize that the patient is in cardiac arrest. So to recognize that the patient is in cardiac arrest, there are three things which we should remember, that is unresponsive, no breathing, no normal breathing, better to say, and no pulse. Now, as soon as you identified that the patient is in cardiac arrest, immediately we have to call for help because it's a out of hospital situation. Now, within 10 seconds of identifying that the patient is in cardiac arrest, we have to start with high quality CPR. Now, when we say high quality CPR, there are certain components of high quality CPR which we have to keep in mind whenever we perform CPR. Now, CPR stands for cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Now, the next link, third link, that is rapid defibrillation. So it can be a shockable rhythm, it can be a non-shockable rhythm. In hospital setting, it is easy to see the monitor and to identify which rhythm it is. But in out of hospital setting, we use a device called AED, that is automated external defibrillator. Now this device helps us in cardiac arrest situations, and if it is a shockable rhythm, so it will prompt us to give shock. So we can defibrillate the patient by using an AED in out of hospital scenarios. Now there are different places, public places where you might find these devices like airports, shopping malls, some corporate offices, embassies. So if you are in a place where you feel that there might be an AED available around, so you should ask someone to get the AED. Now the next link, the third link, that is basic and advanced emergency medical services, because we have called for ambulance services. So as soon as the ambulance services comes, they will take over the patient and they will start performing either BLS or either ALS, advanced life support, based on the type of ambulance which responds to the situation. Now the last link, that is advanced life support and post arrest care. Now, it is also known as post cardiac arrest care uh, or integrated post cardiac arrest care. Now, integrated post cardiac arrest care we perform after achieving ROSC, ROSC. ROSC is a condition where we have a palpable pulse in a patient after resuscitation for a certain duration. So this can be performed in ICU or cath lab based on the patient's condition. Now, the next link, that is in hospital cardiac arrest chain of survival. Uh, when we have a cardiac arrest situation inside the hospital, again in that chain of survival, we have five links. The first link is surveillance and prevention. The first thing which we have to do is, means we should not let the patient to go into cardiac arrest. Now, some of the hospitals, they have specialized teams which can be activated or which can be informed if a patient condition deteriorates. These teams are known as like METs, medical emergency teams, or RRTs, rapid response teams. Now, the function of these teams or the role and responsibilities of these teams are to assess the deteriorating condition of the patient and then to treat the patient well before the patient goes into cardiac arrest. It is observed that the hospitals who have these teams, METs and RRTs, the number of cardiac arrest cases are reduced significantly. So, and there are certain specific criterias also to activate these teams. So, based on the individual hospital to hospital and their protocols, these teams can be initiated, and it is always advisable to have such teams in the hospitals. Now, the next link, that is recognition and activation of emergency response system. Now, if the patient goes into cardiac arrest, first thing to identify that the patient is in cardiac arrest. So, three things: unresponsive, no breathing, no pulse, no normal breathing, and no pulse. If all three are present, then we have to activate code blue. Now, because it's a in hospital setting, so in hospital settings, we always go for code blue. Code blue is a code which is used in the hospital settings for cardiac arrest situations. So, and how to activate code blue? It again can vary from place to place, or hospital to hospital, because all the hospitals, they have their own methods to activate code blue. As soon as we activate code blue, the next link, that is immediate high quality CPR. So because we have called for help, we have activated code blue. So meanwhile we are waiting for the code blue team to arrive, we will start with high quality CPR. And as soon as the code blue team arrives, they will come with manual defibrillator or an AED, whatever is available. Then we have to attach it and we have to defibrillate the patient. Now there are two shockable and two non-shockable rhythms. Two shockable rhythms are ventricular fibrillation and pulseless ventricular tachycardia. Two non-shockable rhythms, that are asystole and PEA. Now based on the rhythms, if it is a manual, if you are going for manual defibrillation, you can assess the rhythm and then you can decide whether you have to go for shock or not. Now, the last link, that is advanced life support and integrated post cardiac arrest care. Again, as I said earlier, that this can be performed either in ICU or in the cath lab based on the patient's condition, and it will be performed once we achieve ROSC, that is return of spontaneous circulation. Well, that's all in this video. I hope you understand the things. Please feel free to ask any doubts in the comment section. Thank you.